Okay, we're going to look at something called quadratic inequalities. It's a quadratic equation, but it's got this inequality symbol right there. It's really important to be able to read this inequality symbol and get it right. I'm using this straight line here so that we can learn to read it. When you have this, when you're reading from the left side, this means that x squared minus 5x plus 6, this whole side, if it's pointy like this, it means less than or equal to 0. So x squared minus 5x plus 6 is less than or equal to 0. That's what they're interested in. All the answers that are negative. So this means that 0 is greater than this expression. If it's open, it means greater than. And if it's closed, it means less than. Well, what you do is you factor this x squared minus 5x plus 6 into x minus 2 times x minus 3. The negative 2 times negative 3 equals positive 6, and minus 2x and minus 3x make the minus 5x. You get two roots. That means two things that will make it equal to 0. That's how you get started. You get 3 marks just for doing that. For some reason, people get confused on the next step. This thing here, this quadratic inequality, is a parabola that we learned to graph. And if it's got a positive here, it means it's right side up like this. These two numbers here, 2 and 3, are the x-intercepts. Whatever makes this expression 0 are the x-intercepts of the parabola. That's where it hits the line. So this is an actual graph of x squared minus 5x plus 6. And look where it hits down here at 2 and 3. Now, if you're trying to figure out what's the solution set for this inequality, what you do first is go to a number line, put the 3 and the 2, you know it crosses there. Then just make a kind of parabola-looking thing like that. Where it dips below, these are negative values for y here. These are negative values down here. These are positive values where the blue is. Between 2 and 3, the red part is less than 0. Well, that's the answer that we care about, all these values. And between 2 and 3, there's an infinite amount of fractions. There's a lot of numbers. All the numbers between 2 and 3 are your answer. And this is how you write it. You write down that everything x that is less than or equal to 3 and x is greater than or equal to 2. You see how it's closed? From the x is less than or equal to 3, and here it's open. X is greater than or equal to 2, and that's your solution. That's how you do it. If you can't read those inequalities, you get all messed up, and that's what people do, get messed up. Let's look at another question here. What if you add this? X squared plus 3x minus 4 is greater than or equal to 0. Well, you'd put 2 brackets and factor. Minus 1 times 4 gives me the minus 4. You've got plus 4x and minus 1x. Hey, this is factored correctly. So the two things that make it equal to 0, we need to know that. Well, 1 minus 1 is 0, and negative 4 plus 4 is 0. So both of those are solutions. But this x squared plus 3x minus 4 is actually a parabola when you graph it. And these values here, 1 and minus 4, are the x-intercepts of the parabola. So what you do is you graph 1 and minus 4, make a parabola there. And the question is, where is it greater than or equal to 0? Well, the answers here, it's your y values that are going up and down here. You see where it goes above the line, it's positive. And where it goes below the line, it's negative. So everything between 1 and minus 4 will give you a negative answer in this expression. Now you've got, when you have, we've got two different parts here, you have two different answers. And let me just read this. X is less than or equal to minus 4. That means everything to the left of negative 4. Or x is greater than or equal to 1. X is greater than, everything to the right of 1 is going to be greater than or equal to 0, you see? So x value is less than minus 4 or x value is more than 1. Make the expression more than 0. Make it positive. Well, that's how it goes. if you ever have a minus x squared here, you know that it's upside down. Now there's some problems sometimes. You get a question and it has no solutions, no roots. It has no roots. So the parabola doesn't touch at all. That means it'll always be positive. Or if it's an upside down one and it's down here, maybe it doesn't touch, it'll always be negative. So sometimes you have no solution, or sometimes all the real numbers are a solution. We've got 7 different questions for you to try. And when you go to the memo, when you draw a little picture, there's one question here, 3 minus x times 1 plus x. That minus x times x is minus x squared. And I drew a little parabola like this. I found roots. It's upside down, you see, so it's positive here and negative on the ends. It's just a little bit different there. Hope this helps, and you'll be able to do the questions, I hope.